The scary sequel.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Well, no. Actually, welcome to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, a showcase in honor of Summertime Radness 2, the scary sequel. This is a game which I think absolutely 100% deserves to be represented in some way in any sort of compendium of spooky titles which is going to be put together by anybody. And I think I kind of thought for a long time about how I was going to include this game, because I knew I wanted to include it somehow. And I had a couple of ideas. I wanted to maybe do one of the spider houses. I wanted to show off Icana Canyon. And then I realized I have no save files for this game at the moment. There he is. It's our number one customer. So I said I'd show off the amazing opening sequence of this game, which is completely and utterly the most strange opening to any Zelda game ever. Like, you think Twilight Princess is odd, Majora's Mask just blows it away in terms of oddness. Hehe, you two fairies did great. I wonder if he has anything good on him. I don't know why all of a sudden the Skull Kid has to talk like that, but he does. Huh, this guy. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Oh my god, even like the way he moves is just like unnerving. And when you think about, like, you've got to think about like Majora's Mask being like the big sequel to Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Time just blew people out of the water, and it was just such like a classic Zelda game. And then you think of this being like the huge follow-up to such an monumental title, and you get this like strange sort of unnerving sort of a weird, bizarre title. What a pretty ocarina. Hey, Skull Kid, let me touch it. I want to see. And these chuckleheads, I tell you. Tattletale and the Skull Kid. You can't, Tail. What would we do if you dropped it and broke it? No way, you can't touch it. Well, you can't sit with us. Oh, but sis, why can't I try it out too? Because you don't have any arms, that's why. You're just a floating ball. Jeez, Link is up and Link means business. As if I wonder where my ocarina is gone. First of all, you decide to steal my ocarina, now you think you can steal my horse Epona. Who do you think you are? Like, you really are just thrown into things here, like, and it's not like the opening of any other Zelda game. Like in any other Zelda game, you're expecting this kind of typical, oh, something, there's a princess and there's a bad guy and we've got to go save her, and really Majora's Mask just isn't that cut and dry. The bad guy isn't even really a bad guy when you think about it, you know? Well, that was a success, Link. And in that regard, I really have to say, like, Majora's Mask, it reminds me a lot of... Jeez, what am I doing? It reminds me a lot of, It reminds me a lot of Link's Awakening, because Link's Awakening has that same, sort of unnatural, surreal sort of quality, where you're not really sure whether what's happening is even really happening, if you know what I mean. And Majora's Mask is the same thing, and like there are like theories about like, oh, what's actually going on and what's actually happening in Link's Awakening and what's actually happening in Majora's Mask. And I do kind of subscribe to the idea that Majora's Mask is this kind of strange like dream sequence that happens in this sort of limbo dimension, not necessarily in Hyrule. So really the extent to which you could argue that it actually did happen is debatable. But I'll tell you this much, like, it's certainly real as far as Link is concerned. Like, and just again, it's like you're wondering what is going on here. What's with that stupid horse of yours? It doesn't listen to a word I said to it. Yeah, that's because it knows you're a jerk and I'm its real friend. There's no point in writing a thing like that, so I did you a favor and got rid of it. Hee hee hee. Like, even like, got rid of it? What do you mean got rid of it? Like, you get the sense that, like, this real sense of foreboding that the Skull Kid is just this chaotic unknown, if you know what I mean. Where, and that's what's so scary about it, really. Because you know Ganondorf is like just this big tough guy. He's just this big monstrosity. But the Skull Kid, it's almost like you can't even imagine the sense of power behind what he's doing. And he's going to prove that even further here. Because as if stealing our ocarina and stealing our horse wasn't bad enough, Skull Kid's going to go ahead and steal our very identity away from us. Like, just the cinematics of this, like, the cinematics of Majora's Mask just blow Ocarina of Time out of the water. Just like, look at this. Like, there's nothing in Ocarina of Time that just can ever stand up to Majora's Mask as far as atmosphere and cinematics is concerned. Like, look what he did to us! I'm a monster! And he just sits there and laughs and giggles. Now that's a good look for you. You'll stay here looking that way forever. Yoda reminds me of, like, the sense of, like, the sense of fear that you get from the Skull Kid. It's the same as, like, that episode of The Twilight Zone with, like, is it called It's a Wonderful Life? Or It's a Good Life, that's what it's called. Where, like, the kid has like, psychokinetic powers or whatever. But because he's a child, he doesn't use them in a rational sort of way. He uses them in a very kind of childish, contrary sort of way, if you know what I mean. Skull Kid, wait for me, I'm still here. Tail, you can't leave without me. You're not gonna get through there. You don't have a lightsaber like Qui-Gon Jinn that you can just cut through the door. If I wasn't dealing with you, I wouldn't have gotten separated from my brother. Yeah, well, if you hadn't been tagging around with those numbskulls, this wouldn't have even ever happened. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't have a choice. I have a very limited range of facial expressions here. Will you stop staring and just open that door for me? Please, come on, a helpless little girl is asking you, so hurry up. It's not my fault you don't have any arms. I wonder if that child will be alright on his own. Oh, here, now you're switching into big, nurturing sister mode. I keep, like, I was just, like, recording Wind Waker there a while ago. And I keep, like look, even the grass is moving. Like, everything that happens in this game, like, in the opening, just contributes to the sense of we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Like, look at this as well. You have to like notice as well, there's like this weird, it's hard to see there. It's very visible in the scene where you see like the Skull Kid floating above us, but there's like this kind of strange inverted, warped Triforce that's kind of pulled out of kilter, if you know what I mean. Like, just the attention to detail in all of the visuals in this game is just unbelievable. We're gonna see even more here. Don't leave me behind, so that stuff back there, I am apologize, so take me with you, please. Oh. Wanna know about that Skull Kid who just ran off, right? Well, I just so happen to have an idea of where he might be going. Take me with you and I'll help you out, deal? Please? Okay, if I must. And that's the thing, like, your goal in this game, like, your goals in this game aren't kind of, oh, we need to save the world and I'm the important protagonist who's going to take out the antagonist. It's kind of a lot smaller than that and bigger than that at the same time, if you know what I mean. Because, like, what did I just do there? Tattle, what are you telling me here? Yeah, I know, jeez, go away. Alright, listen up, if you press and hold A, oh, I need to hold it down. I can't even, it goes to show that yeah, I did, thanks. Goes to show that I haven't played this game in I don't know how long, that I didn't even have a save file. I keep like trying to move the camera with the right stick when that's my C buttons. I'll get back into the swing of things. It's just that I was playing like Wind Waker HD earlier today, which is after like causing me to get used to the modern control system. But yeah, I do think this like game, it does like there are like theories that like Link is like dead, or Link is like somewhere between being dead or alive or whatever. Kind of like almost like Over the Garden Wall, if you've ever seen that. And if you haven't seen that, you need to see that. Like Over the Garden Wall is just one of the most amazing spectacles of animation of the 21st century. It's just so good. Am I able to just go directly through here? No, I have to like come over here. Link, you can do it. You can do it. I'm sorry. You can actually like it'll seem like you're about to like just fall down, but you can actually like go quite a ways when he starts like kicking his little legs like that. But just even like the look of where we are. Yeah, I know. I'll talk to you, Tattle. You're just going to insult me though. There you go. See, you can do it if you try. When I fly over to people or objects, use Z to look at them, so you can talk to them. Yeah, I know. It's the same as any other Zelda game. Enough about that for now. Come over to this tree and check it out. Yes, I will check it out, even though, as I say, all she's going to do is insult me. It's strange, but the way you look right now sort of looks like this tree. Yeah, of course I look sad. I'm after having my humanity taken away from me. It's all dark and gloomy, almost like it could start crying any second now. How sad. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not really sure about the whole death thing. I do definitely believe Termina is some sort of strange limbo sort of dimension. You have to wonder whether Termina even was potentially created by, like, is even like potentially like a dimension that was created by the Skull Kid himself. Like, the theories are endless. Like, you have to wonder what even is going on. And that's what I mean, like, all of the things that we do in this game, like the good that we do is a case of the whole being more than the sum of its parts. Here we go, I have been met with a terrible fate. Because in Ocarina of Time and like other conventional Zelda games, it's like you have one main goal and like everything else builds up to that, whereas like in Majora's Mask it really is the case of you help people out and it's kind of all very like small goals that build up into one big thing, and kind of you get that sense of the avalanche of good work that we do being composed of all these small little snowflakes of good deeds that we contribute to throughout the world. During my travels, a very important mask was stolen from me by an imp in the woods. So here I am at a loss, and now I've found you. Now don't think me rude, but I've been following you. And I think like the mask salesman, like there are theories about him as well, because he seems to be the only other person that's able to exist outside of Termina, if you know what I mean. Like, he seems to be a link between the real world per se and the dimension known as Termina, I guess. If you can get back the precious item that was stolen from you, I will return you to normal. In exchange, all I ask is that you also get back my precious mask that the imp stole from me. The way he jerks around here is just so scary. Is that not a simple task? Why, to someone like you, it should by no means be a difficult task. Like, he knows who we are as well. Like, he knows that we're the hero of time originally. Except, the one thing is, I'm a very busy fellow, and I must leave this place in 3 days. How grateful I would be if you could bring it back to me before my time here is up. But yes, you'll be fine. I see you are young and have tremendous courage. I'm sure you'll find it right away. Well then, I'm counting on you. Like, look at my pitiful little form. Anyway, and that's why, like, I think I could talk about this game for ages. Like, I mean, we're up to, like, what, like, about 15 minutes now, and I feel like we could just talk about this game forever and ever and ever. And it really is, like, it's probably the only Zelda game that you could class as being somewhat of a surreal horror game to a certain extent, just because of, like, the themes that it does have. So I don't know. I just wanted to have an excuse to talk about this game and how I love its spooky atmospheres, how I love the thematics of it, how I adore every single bit of it. This is another case of a game I'd love to LP sometime, so I don't know, we'll see whether that ever happens or when. For now though, we've got some good to do in the world, so I'll see you next time. Bye now.
The scary sequel.